right, and we'll go to Facebook too. We usually have some devotees on Facebook. Hare Krishna. So good morning from this side of the world, a chilly morning in Villa Govinda Ashram in Italy, but it is not where we are, it is what we are doing, or where we are with our heart and what we are doing. So we see that the sun is well up in Japan, bright skies, but that same sun will come over to this part of the world. Presently is our expectation. And one message from Srila Gurudev recently, a message that we are hearing in different places, that we must always live in the present. Just no future, however bright, and the past is the past, now in the present. Just to be alert to our not only duty, but our thinking, our own activities at every moment. And this way, we are reminded that the earth, it is spinning, and the days come and go very fast. In the morning kirtans that we sing, we see that the days are coming and going, and when they're gone, they're gone. We've lost them, we cannot get them back. So anyway, let us first give our credits to our divine masters, and really spiritual masters who are waking us up to our actual living life, a life worth living. So to our masters, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswat Math ki jai, and our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhakta. So with just this one verse of Vandeham, and then we'll continue today. And today is a significant day. Every day is a special day, but it's a special day. It's Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's disappearance day today, so we can consider something of his contribution and his life in this world. Pandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. Actually complete in one verse. So dear devotees, it is the disappearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And just give me 1 second, I'll go to Facebook, which started a bit later, and I search for simply back. Go back to basics, and click and a click, and we are live here. Let's see what happens. Oh, turn off the volume. All right, so those of you on Facebook, on Zoom, and in the recorded version, because we know you are there. Happily we know. Then to all of you, my obeisances, we've come together under the flag of back to basics on number 600 and something, which I was shocked to hear the other day. We've been going on, but happily to share the basics of our devotional life. And today is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's disappearance day. And he has given a very big illustration to the world of the glories of Nityananda Prabhu and the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of the distribution of Krishna consciousness, the mercy department, the greatest mercy department, which is giving us the highest goal of life, which is eternity, joy, happiness, all those things. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur in particular wrote through his pen, then came the Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat. And the Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat is one of the 3 books which, without fail, in Navadip Chaitanya Saraswat Math of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, that was established by them as daily reading. There's the Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat, the Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta, and Srimad Bhagavatam. And each had their own particular time in the day, and it was not a long reading, but it was the nourishment of the devotees to hear from these three sources as parayaan, continual reading. Get to the end, start at the beginning, get to the end, start at the beginning. And we are very fortunate that the substance of Chaitanya-Bhagavat, the substance of Chaitanya Caritamrta, the substance of Srimad Bhagavatam has all been given to us in a very a practical way, in a very direct way, cautionary way, but clear and clean way, by our guardians. It means the wave of Krishna consciousness brought around the world by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who was under that guidance prepared by Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, who carried the current of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and all of that current coming through Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. And they have presented us in their speaking, in their writings, their own compositions. They've presented us the very substance and gist of the goal of life and the plane of mercy, the department of mercy, of how we can actually achieve that goal of life. It is not a fictitious story, like in a bookshop you get row and row of books, fiction, and everyone loves to read a good story. But this description given by Vrindavan Das Thakur and by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj, by Vedavyas, and this essence, condensed description given by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, then this is not only the best stories ever, they are real best stories ever. They're describing the pastimes of the Lord and his associates in the material world. They came here for the benefit of the fallen souls. That happens to be us, if you haven't noticed. And we should take note of what they came to give. So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is his disappearance today. There are some links on the Math website, scsmath.com, and they're all definitely worth revisiting. If you visited before, then please do read again the two introductions which are there, and do hear again the audio of Srila Guru Maharaj describing about Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And when I saw a little earlier today, I saw that it was introduced. Oh, the audio is, need to go back to it. The audio of Srila Guru Maharaj is introduced on the Math website by saying, a wonderful discourse by Srila Bhakti Rock Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj about Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, spoken by Srila Guru Maharaj on his disappearance day in 1982, 18th of April, 1982. And as well, I'll read the short quote here. This is quoted from that talk. His heart, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's heart, is so full of devotion towards Nityananda and Sri Gauranga. We pray to him for a drop of that kind of pure and intense devotion towards Gaura Nityananda from his feet. That at his feet we can get that part. And then, says in the introduction, in the latter part of this recording, Srila Guru Maharaj recites and explains the pranam mantrams to Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga, composed by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Now, all of this is here for your reading. You can take your time to go through the hearing and the reading of these. And I have something that I'll be very happy to share. And this is from Chaitanya-Bhagavat. And I think all of you know that we are reading Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta principally. And this has been given to us word by word with the translations, with commentaries. This has been given to us by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, who has made this available as he made Bhagavad Gita available as it is. He's made Chaitanya Caritamrta available. Basically, we can say as it is, and with his commentaries and with the commentaries based on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentaries, and from other sources too, like Vishwanath Chakravarti, etc. So this is indescribably, we cannot say huge, but it is absolutely invaluable treasure which has been brought to this world by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, and then into English by Srila Prabhupada, following the guidance, following the line of our parampara. So we need to hear everything from a devotee and not just go to read ourselves. And so in this way we are getting guidance coming down. And while we are reading Chaitanya Caritamrta, then repeatedly, then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author, is referring us to Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat. So being referred to Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat to read various pastimes, which Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Vrindavan Das Thakur has already explained this fully, and there's no need to increase the size of this book that he's writing, Chaitanya Caritamrta. And he's referring to us to Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat. Now, one section in Chaitanya-Bhagavat is describing quite elaborately when Mahaprabhu and Nityananda jumped into the river Ganges to take the quickest way to get to Shantipur, the house of Advaita Acharya, when Advaita Acharya deliberately was preaching wrong things in order that Mahaprabhu would come and chastise him, because Advaita Acharya was senior in Leela, in pastime, to Mahaprabhu. He's the one who drew the Lord to come as Mahaprabhu to this world. And so Mahaprabhu, from childhood all the way to now his grown-up life, he was always seeing Advaita Acharya as his senior, or dealing with him as his senior, reverentially, much respect. But Advaita Acharya knows who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Gauranga Sundar. And he can't tolerate that he, the Lord, is giving him, who is in this form as the devotee of the Lord, giving him this special honor. And so, anyway, this story, you all know, Advaita Acharya deliberately started preaching about Gyan and Mayavad as being superior to Bhakti. Cover your ears, don't worry about it. And this brought Nityananda, brought Mahaprabhu with Nityananda down to Shantipur. And so this description in Chaitanya-Bhagavat is more extensive. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is referring us for these earlier pastimes to Chaitanya-Bhagavat. And then there is a section after, okay, we can't read it all. So after the beating and all these things, and then Advaita Acharya, completely in ecstatic happiness that he's getting beaten by Gauranga Sundar, because now you are the Lord and I am the servant. Only the master can beat the servant like this. Advaita Acharya, like so happy, while everyone else is extremely puzzled, especially Advaita Acharya's wife, and Haridas Thakur was standing nearby fearfully chanting the name of the Lord. Description was there. But then when all of this is finished, then they're embracing, and Mahaprabhu understands that he's been tricked in this way to chastise Advaita Acharya. And then Mahaprabhu gives much glorification to Advaita Acharya, and saying, really giving glorification, which is all super wonderful. But then Advaita Acharya, hearing this from Mahaprabhu, he gives a response to Mahaprabhu. And I don't know if I'm allowed to take the liberty to read this part, but here is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur describing what happened next Oh, well, so Advaita Acharya, yes, he got so much praise from Mahaprabhu, but Advaita Acharya, then he responds to Mahaprabhu, and he is pointing out that, no, you are the Lord, and all glory goes to you. If anybody will ignore your worship, but worship however great a person may be as a devotee of the Lord or a deva or anything, then if they don't worship you, then they will not be successful. They will be ruined. And then, by the way, we came across some example that he gave about a three-legged, three-armed, three-headed demon who was manifested by the wish of a king, by some austerities, but was manifested in order to destroy Dwarika. And then this is not a good idea, and that demon knew it wasn't a good idea too. Anyway, I can't read you the whole Chaitanya-Bhagavat. Another thing about that demon, not only was he three-legged, but his legs were like palm trees. Like legs were like palm trees. So what kind of a demon was this? Anyway, all of this was giving examples of how we cannot be successful if we may be dedicated to a servant of the Lord, but if we are trying to avoid the Lord himself, then it's not a good idea. So then, long story, but that demon had some intelligence, and he knew about Sudharshan chakra, etc. And then he realized, I can't run away from this disc. I can only surrender to it. And then he surrendered to the Sudharshan chakra. Anyway, Advaita Acharya was using various examples to show that we must worship the Supreme Lord. That is all important. And this is after Mahaprabhu has said, no, anyone who worships you, Advaita Acharya, they will get all these great benefits in life. But then, after Advaita Acharya was saying very strong, clear statements about the Lord, how we must worship the Lord, then Mahaprabhu, he heard all this, and then he responded, and it's quite a response. So I'm going to read a little bit from Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat, and just bear with me, but I think it's wonderful. So that's why I'm sharing it. And this is by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And we are, I'm sorry, I just got to find it. I'm in the middle of Advaita. Okay, so we're in Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, chapter 19, and we're beginning at verse 206. But you can hear, you don't have to try to fish it out and read it. I'll do my best to read the right words. Anyway, so Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, and Jai Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat. So, reading the translations. When Sri Satchinandana heard Advaita's explanation of the absolute truth, he, that is Satchinandana Gaurahari, roared loudly and spoke as follows: Homkara Korya Bole Sri Satchinandana. So this is Mahaprabhu speaking. And he is saying, everyone listen to my words. More e satya, my truthful words. Sobe, everybody. Shuna, mana diaye. Listen attentively. Everyone listen attentively to my words. And everybody here, all of you are included in everyone, and so am I. So everyone listen to my words. Any fallen soul who disrespects my servant and worships me cuts me into pieces. His worship feels like fire to my body. And now, and by the way, the commentaries in this edition that we have here are from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentaries on the Chaitanya-Bhagavat translated into English. So then, but the next verse, Mahaprabhu is saying, and this is really quite amazing, he's saying, my wish-fulfilling holy names destroy one who blasphemes my servant. Je amara dasera sakrit ninda kore, mora nama kalpataru sanghare tahare. So normally we're hearing about, yes, the wish-fulfilling holy names, but that can give us the transcendental world, all the transcendental things, everything. And giving kalpataru, the wish-fulfilling tree, mora nama kalpataru. So that's very strongly, like hits us, makes us awake. My wish-fulfilling holy names destroy one who blasphemes my servant. All living entities in the innumerable universes are my servants. So anyone who blasphemes any living entity is ruined. And the Bengali is right here. Ananta Brahmande Jata Sabha Mora Dasa. All are my servants. Etike Jay Para Hingshe Se Jaya Nasha. I mean, very strongly Mahaprabhu is replying and telling everyone to listen. And then Mahaprabhu is saying to Advaita Acharya, you are more important than my own body. So if anyone transgresses you, he will be unable to tolerate his fate. And you know that recently we were commenting about Jagai and Madai and how Chitragupta and the scribes, they were keeping a record of his sins. And before he was exonerated, before they were exonerated by Nitai and Gauranga, then the scribes and Chitragupta, servants of Yamaraj, they were crying out of compassion for Jagai and Madai, that thinking, how on earth will they be able to tolerate all the bad reactions that are due to come to them for their sinful life? And here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying to Advaita Acharya that you are more important than my own life. If anyone transgresses you, he will be unable to tolerate his fate. What kind of reaction will come? Then, next verse, Mahaprabhu is still speaking, and he's told us all to listen with strict mind, with clear mind. If even a sannyasi blasphemes an innocent person, he goes to hell and all his religious principles are destroyed. And then, Bahu Tuli, Jagatera, Bole, Goradhama. So what did he say with this? What did Mahaprabhu say, holding his two arms in the air? Anindika hoy sabe bala Krishna nama. Anindik, and so ninda is sin, and aninda means sinless, innocent person. So Mahaprabhu said, Anindaka hoy sabe bala Krishna nama, Anindaka hoy jay sakrit Krishna bole, Satya Satya Muvitare Udharibe Hele. So he's telling very firmly and strongly, truthfully. He's saying, avoid offenses and chant the names of Krishna. So raising his arms and Jagatere Boli, Mahaprabhu declared to the Jagat, to the world, avoid offenses and chant the names of Krishna. If one who is free from blasphemy chants the name of Krishna even once, I will certainly deliver him. That is that last verse. And now this next verse, you can probably all translate part of it. Okay, I'll give you the translation, and then you have the Bengali. Okay, so then Vrindavan Das Thakur. Today we're remembering him and we're reading this excerpt. When Mahaprabhu, Vrindavan Das Thakur is writing this, so he's now filling in, he's telling us. When Mahaprabhu spoke these words, all the devotees chanted, and I'll let you figure it out from the Bengali. So when Mahaprabhu spoke these words, all the devotees chanted something. Okay. So now listen to the Bengali. E jadi Mahaprabhu bolila bachana, Jaya, 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 bole sarva bhaktagana. Okay? Got it? No? Everyone, Paramananda has no expression. Seva Rupa's got some expression. Priyanana. Jaya, 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 bole. Hare Krishna. So everybody chanted Jaya, Jaya, Jaya. Let me just come back to that screen again. So, E Jadi Mahaprabhu Bala Lila Vachana Jaya 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 Bole Sarva Bhaktagana. And anyway, okay, then Vrindavan Das Thakur is relaying more and more. I'll just read it and try, because it's just so wonderful. After all the things that have just taken place, the beating, the everything, and then anyway, then all the glorification of each other. So then Advaita cried and grabbed the Lord's 2 lotus feet. The Lord also began to cry as he embraced Advaita. The entire world floated in Advaita's ecstatic love. Such are the inconceivable topics of Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna. And then the quarrels between Nityananda and Advaita Acharya. All sorts of things. All are super transcendental and super happy. We must hear everything from the devotees, about the devotees. We must hear about the devotees and the Lord from the devotees. Anyhow, this is just a little excerpt. And of course, we can find unlimited excerpts about Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya and Advaita Acharya. But Vrindavan Das Thakur, as we know, he's giving extreme glorification to Nityananda Prabhu as well as Gauranga. And very firmly, it is through Nityananda that we get the grace of Gauranga, the grace of Nitai and Gauranga that we're getting. That possibility, that opportunity to come to receive the actual grace of entrance to Radha Krishna's pastimes, things which are practically unspoken until the recent time. So very carefully we must deal with all of these matters. And in fact, at the end of Srila Govinda Maharaj's introduction to the Bengali edition published from the temple of the Chaitanya-Bhagavat, then there is his original composition, Gurudev's composition. And I can maybe find that. Sorry, I just have to put the fan onto my friend so he doesn't, means the computer who is bringing you to me, because he's getting a bit hot. Okay. So that composition where Srila Gurudev, he is making the prayer that our discussion about these high matters, these high personalities, please don't take any offense. It's really it's dangerous for us to talk about high things actually, because there is a risk of offense. And we could read that just now too. Let me see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So yes, introduction to the Chaitanya-Bhagavat. This is 1995 when our edition means small edition. Usually Chaitanya-Bhagavat, it's like a big book. But Gurudev asked that it be printed in a portable edition. So we have a beautiful book, which all the devotees from every mat, they would come to our mat to get this book. And in the introduction to this book, then Srila Gurudev, here's part of that introduction. At the end, he's saying, so this is translated from the Bengali. Lastly, with obeisance and an earnest prayer for mercy, I conclude this offering of the book and his presentation of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I conclude this offering proclaiming Jaya and praying for complete forgiveness for all types of offenses committed knowingly and unknowingly at the holy feet of the Vyasa of Sri Chaitanya's, the Vyasas of Sri Chaitanya's pastimes, because he's been describing about the two Vyasas and giving some understanding of them, the two Vyasas being Vrindavan Das Thakur and Srila Krishna Das Thakur. And then Gurudev's own composition, Dasa Vrindavanam Vande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tatha Channavatara Chaitanya Lila Vistara Karinao Dvau Nityananda Padabja Karuna Renu Bhushitao Vyakta Channao Buddha Chintyao Vavande Vyasa Rupinao Sri Guru Gora Gandhava Govindash Cha Ganai Saha Jayanti Patakash Chatra Sarvesham Karunatinaha. And we read it, it's Gurudev's composition, the translation being, I bow to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So it's Gurudev's composition. I don't know if I said that right. Srila Govinda Maharaj's composition. He's saying, I bow to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur and Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu. They are the expounders of the pastimes of the hidden avatar, Sri Chaitanya, and are adorned with mercy pollen from Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. So he's giving his obeisances to Vrindavan Das Thakur and Krishna Das Thakur. I bow to these two forms of Vyasadev, one of whom is manifest and one of whom is hidden, one of whom is intelligible and one of whom is inconceivable. And then it's got in parentheses here, one of whom reveals the open, conceivable pastimes of Sri Chaitanya, and one of whom reveals the hidden, inconceivable pastimes of Sri Chaitanya. So then that's out of brackets, that's to help us understand. And then the last part, Sri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar and their associates conquer all. And we, the students here, pray for their mercy. Hare Krishna. And here, this Srila Gurudev signed this at Sri Dandi Bhikshu Sri Bhakti Sundar Govinda. Actually, he signs it. The lowly and fallen Sri Dandi Bhikshu Sri Bhakti Sundar Govinda, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math Navadip, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu's disappearance day, 8th of August, 1995. Hare Krishna. Well, normally I'm not reading so much, but today to have a little sample of Vrindavan Das Thakur's writing, and a reminder that we generally we are given this specific importance of reading Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta, because it's giving us all these things which are taking us to that inconceivable hidden realm, and it is written later. And so Guru Maharaj also said that Krishnadas Kaviraj, he knew well what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has given, and he is giving what he's not explained, and even explains Krishnadas Kaviraj that he left some parts undescribed to give this opportunity that later they will be described. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj filled in some of the missing places in the earlier pastimes, and he is continually referring the devotees to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we've got this opportunity to, when we get this indication from Krishnadas Kaviraj, especially when we get that indication, to come and then refer, when Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying Vrindavan Das Thakur has already elaborately described this, there's no need for me to unnecessarily increase the size of this book of Chaitanya Caritamrta. He's referring us directly to Sri Chaitanya-Bhagavat. So today, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's disappearance day, and his samadhi is in Gachi, which is the last stop, last special place on the pilgrimage of Navadip Dham Parikrama, established at the mat, the tradition Parikramas, the last place on the last day, Gachi. Hare Krishna. Paramanandru, you are seated silently, but you can, well, I think we can all say more things. You can definitely say more things, but of substance, you can give us a little extra for our remembrance of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and as Gurudev and Guru Maharaj would say, may he help us on our journey. May our glorification, our attempt to glorify, bring them some happiness. May they help us in our journey. We need their strength. Paramananda Prabhu.
Maharaj, you already give all the substance, but we can mention a little bit of a history, maybe. Vrindavan Das Thakur. He was actually related to Shivas Pandit. I don't know what you exactly call it, not a nephew, because the mother was the nephew of Shivas Pandit, Narayani Didi. And she was also a great devotee and received mercy of Mahaprabhu in a very early age. Perhaps she was 3 or 4 years old at that time. And she also got the blessing from Mahaprabhu. And through that blessing, a beautiful son have manifested, who became later known as Vrindavan Das Thakur. So he was born in that place that you just mentioned, Gachi. That's the origins. That's where the Narayani lived and where he appeared. And he was, as we know from our Guru Varga, he was, we can say, like Guru Maharaj is saying, he is a devotee of Nityananda and Mahaprabhu, no doubt about it. But to a greater extent, he was a devotee of Nityananda and one of his eternal associates in Goloka Vrindavan. He was one of the very close associates of Baladev. And hence the mood, very particular mood. And later on, he was traveling with Nityananda to different places in Bengal, doing lots of preaching. And Nityananda was quite often accompanied by an entourage, many devotees, and stopping here, stopping there. And then a peculiar thing happened. Vrindavan Das Thakur, he is of course thinking how he can serve to his Lord Nityananda. So in one place, they had some prashadam, and Nityananda, he particularly favored to have this particular fruit called haritaki. After he would take prashadam, he would always take it as a mouth refresher and a digestive aid. So Vrindavan Das Thakur knew about it. But it's not everywhere that haritaki trees grow. So in that particular place, there was a big tree, haritaki tree. Then he thought, oh, here's my chance, I will save some. And next time Prabhu takes prashadam, then perhaps there is no haritaki tree nearby, then I will give him some. It will be enough for a few days. So thinking like that, he picked some of the fruits, or whatever. I don't know how it looked like exactly. You know, Maharaj?
Well, no, I have a mental idea if it is right or wrong. I think I've been shown that fruit, but I don't say. By the way, I've already said something wrong, and you just made that click in my mind. And in Mamgachi is the appearance place of Vrindavan Das Thakur. His disappearance place is in Denur, which is a village very close to Srila Gurudev's birthplace village, that very auspicious area of Raradesh. So near Bamunpara, walking distance, I mean, from there is Denu. So it gives me an opportunity just to mention that too. Many thanks for putting that spark of remembrance there, Prabhu. Yes, so yes.
Then they went to another place, and that place happened to be Denur. And there was a devotee there, devotee of Lord Nityananda, who arranged for the prashadam, and then everybody was served, and Nityananda was very happy. And then in the end, Vrindavan Das Thakur produced this haritaki fruit for Nityananda. Nityananda was very surprised because he didn't see any trees of haritaki growing nearby. So he asked, how did you come by this fruit? There's nothing like that grows nearby. And then he explained, well, I kind of saved it for the future so that I can serve you when there is no supply of this fruit around. And then Nityananda was quite, externally, he showed some anger. Quite often, there is a mentioning that the mind of the Lord is known only to the Lord. We cannot understand why is Lord doing this or thinking that. And he may do something that, from our point of view, will be quite unlogical or unfair in many ways, and we will challenge the Lord's decision based on, law or the rules of the society, or the so-called fairness of the society. So Nityananda was quite angry. And then he said, Vrindavan Das, you're the renounced person. And a renounced person shouldn't even think about preparing anything for the future. He should fully be dependent on the Lord's grace. So you're not a good follower of that principle. And thus I decide that you should stay here and do not follow me anymore. And if anyone hears that, it's a heartbreaking statement, really. Someone may say he was ousted from Nityananda's entourage. But again, his heart is pure. So some other person may say, oh, I should just leave Krishna consciousness, forget about it. Very unfair, but not Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Srila Govinda Maharaj showed us that example. He was saying that whatever happens in my life, I'm always thinking, why does Krishna wants me to be in this situation? Why does he wants me to hear or see what is happening? What is his purpose? That was Govinda Maharaj's vision. So in a similar way, Vrindavan Das Thakur was thinking along the same lines, thinking, why does Nityananda doing that. He doesn't do anything whimsically. So what is the message to me? What should I do? What is my service in the circumstances? And then he understood that he wants me to stay here and to work on Mahaprabhu's biography, to describe the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Really, it's quite inconceivable. I mean, of course, they are from the upper world, but it's an example of a certain mood that we can worship and aspire for. So he decided, I mean, not decided, there was no choice for him. He was ordered to stay there and not to follow Nityananda. So he stayed there, and then he started working on Chaitanya-Bhagavat. This is how Chaitanya-Bhagavat came to be. And that particular place, Denur, and it became a place of his bhajan. And as you, Maharaj, already mentioned, he left the world in that place in Denur, and the Samadhi is there. It's a very humble, humble temple, I have to say. But we all know the greatness of that place, however humble externally it may appear. And like Govinda Maharaj, we just heard Govinda Maharaj's composition, how wonderfully he described that. Conceivable and inconceivable. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, in his composition, Vrindavan Chaitanya-Bhagavat, he always says that in the future, another Vyas will describe what I am unable to describe. And we may think, why is that? Why is he not describing? Is he unqualified to do that? Why there is a necessity in another Vyas? And there's also subtle moments. So Govinda Maharaj points that out. He describes a conceivable pastimes. And we have to remember that Vrindavan Das Thakur, he is of particular rasa. He's a follower of Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Baladev and his gopas, his associates. They shy away from Madhura rasa expressions, which is unique to Krishna and the gopis and the servitors of the gopis. And that's where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was uniquely qualified, being in that camp, being a follower of Rupa Manjari, and receiving all the wealth directly from Lalita Sakhi in the form of Swarupa Damodar, and he's recording his diaries that passed through Raghunath Das Goswami, direct recipient of that wealth, who is also in the same camp of Sri Rupa Manjari. So he was uniquely qualified. So we hear the description in Chaitanya Caritamrta, Bairanga Sangikori, Nama Sankirtan Antaranga Sangikori, Rasa Asvadhan. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that externally Mahaprabhu is performing pastimes meant for the distribution of the holy name, to establishing the Sankirtan movement, the Yuga Dharma. But internally, he is relishing the rasa. And that points to the origins of Mahaprabhu being Krishna, but overtaken by the heart of Srimati Radharani. So in this way, Srila Govinda Maharaj beautifully says that what is inconceivable really cannot even be revealed. It came as a seed at the time of Madhavendra Puri, and through that, it is described, the seed were planted and the beautiful tree of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally manifested from that seed. So it was absolutely inconceivable, and is inconceivable till this day, not revealed by anyone to anyone till very recent. And that's another thing to consider, how lucky we are to be in this time. Like zillions of years passed, I mean, yugas passed. Nothing like that was revealed. And then just 500 years ago, suddenly, it came. And it was revealed through the heart of the Vaishnavas, such as Madhavendra Puri and Mahaprabhu himself and his parashats. It became available. And then spread around the world by Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, with the blessings of Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and then Srila Guru Maharaj extracts what is hidden in, already hidden. He extracts the nectar of the nectar, the essence of the nectar, and freely giving to everyone, really freely. And Govinda Maharaj expressed himself, he was surprised how much Guru Maharaj was suddenly opened up and giving to the Westerners He was thinking, where is their qualification? We've been with him so many years, we haven't heard anything like that. And they're coming from Mlech Kadesh, no qualification whatsoever, no noble lineage, no nothing, no Brahmanical qualities, like completely fallen souls. And then Govinda Maharaj is making this beautiful conclusion that, first of all, being a fallen is a qualification in this case. And second, they're so pure-hearted because they never committed any Vaishnava apparat in their life, because there is no Vaishnavas in the Mlech Kadesh. This is like a unique observation. Only Govinda Maharaj can come to that kind of conclusion. So I was thinking, now I understand why. And of course, a special grace coming from the heart of Guru Maharaj.
And by the way, I was feeling some words, and I got the exact words that I was feeling just now from Nama Priya Devi Das. She's put a message, so beautiful. Well, Dandavat and so beautiful. Really, Paranandu, so beautiful. This is also my expression to him. And by the way, Rupa Devi Das put a picture of the Haritaki fruit, which is, thank you, Lord, it is more or less how I was remembering them. And this haritaki, it's a digestive and at the end of the meal. So it's kind of opened up, and so we don't see the original fruit. And Guru Maharaj used to take this haritaki, and after the meal, and you chew it, and then you don't swallow, you spit it out. It enlivens your digestive things at the end, and really, I mean, wonderful remembrance of Guru Maharaj and Haritaki and being with him. I mean, really. And another, I mean, Guru Maharaj servitor, Aranya Maharaj, who was Krishna Sharan Prabhu, he would take Haritaki a lot also after his meals. A side note about the Haritaki. And there is a tree there that they say is coming from the seed of the Haritaki, where Mahaprabhu is supposed to have, in Denu, near Denu, it's outside the village, there's a tree there where we go to. Now there's a Haritaki tree there from the seed of the tree. Hare Krishna. Well, any question from anybody?
Just want to tell Maharaj, want to tell to Ram Sundar, who really likes gardening, and he plants all kinds of auspicious plants, to plant the Haritaki tree.
Rupa will send you a seed. She's got it in her computer. And I see Rupa is asking, where can we get the Chaitanya-Bhagavat? Well, you can come here. We have in the bookshelf. There, if you are asking, where is the Chaitanya-Bhagavat? I have on the computer, but it is incomplete. The digital version I have is incomplete, and I can ask if anyone has a full version. But we must be careful where we are, what we are reading, where we're getting it from. We want everything to be done nicely, and we've got what we consider the sincerely produced edition here, and I'd have to go through to get the book to see where it is. But yes, we can give some clue. Let's just make a little research and give you a clue, and I can share what I have, but it's incomplete on the computer. Anyhow, good question. Maybe we need a reminder, or maybe I need a reminder. Oh, I just shut you all off. Okay. I do have a pen and paper, still using a pen and paper. Oh, I'm not, my camera's not on. Oh, okay. So you couldn't see me holding up the pen. So Chaitanya-Bhagavat. Hare Krishna. I know it's in Russian. I've seen it in 1 volume Russian. But it is in English. We just have to just do a little research.
But Maharaj, in Russian, it's only the first part. It's Adikanda translated and
Oh, is
printed.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Now second one is existing also, but digitally. And about the third part, I haven't heard anything in Russian.
And it is wonderful that the scriptures are being made available everywhere within no time at all, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswat Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. No time at all, in all sorts of languages. And yesterday we came across, or devotee came here, with a thick songbook in Italian. It looks, just feels so wonderful to hold. There's this thick songbook in Italian. Devotees are making available the message of our masters, the kirtans, etc. Hare Krishna. And by the way, that kirtan that we sing on Ekadashis, which is, we can sing every day. Now I've lost the first line.
Hari Vasari Hari.
Hari Vasari Hari. Yes, this kirtan. This is from Vrindavan Das Thakur. And if you don't know it's from him, it just feels like Vrindavan Das Thakur. Then when you get to the end, signing off as Vrindavan Das Thakur. Oh, so beautiful. All right. Aparajita Devidasi turned on her camera. You have a question or a contribution? No. Oh, okay. I thought you turned on your camera because you have a... All right. So, okay, we're a minute before our hour, but it doesn't really matter. If nobody has something more to say...
I think those three in Govinda Farm Ashram having a lively discussion, Maharaj. Perhaps they can share what are they talking about. Krishna Priya Lila Mohan Ram Sundar.
Yeah.
Dhanyavad. We are discussing where to find this Haritaki tree. And we are discussing how to find the Kalpa Vriksha tree beside the Srila Gurudev's veranda.
How to find it? Well, you know where that is.
Yeah.
Go to Gurudev's veranda.
Yeah.
You know where is the Haritaki tree. Go to Dainur. It's just outside the village. What more do you want?
I mean to plant it here in the Ramsundar's garden. And we are very excited also to sing the Shri Harivatsale today. And we didn't sing this in the morning, but we're sure going to sing in the evening. And the Disappearance song also, very exciting day. Many things to discuss and very many things to sing. Jai. And?
The garden is exploding right now, I do have to say. We had about 100 jasmine flowers every day.
I mean, big one, not small.
Yeah, the big one.
You can show them the camera.
Oh, okay. This is the request of Krishnapriya, Shri Giraj's garland, and Shri Govinda Sundar. Amazing.
I forgot how large is Giriraj. That's how we got to stay there.
Boro Giriraj, Boro.
Took up his home in Mehrim. Just see, beautiful.
Okay, that's it. Hi.
Yes, many thanks for that touch of Govinda Farm Ashram.
But I will show off too, Maharaj. Not my garden, but still beautiful.
Oh, this is Japan, the cherry trees. Well, I could show off Villa Govinda's garden too.
Maharaj, and you mentioned the songbook in Italian, that it's thick. Does it include more than a traditional edition, or?
It's from another mat, and it's got quite a lot in. It's 450 pages, And I briefly looked through it. From Bhakti Vaibhava Puri Maharaj's math. They seem to have quite a presence in Italy. And somebody's produced that, quite a lot of songs.
Yeah, I just saw that sometimes you mention some songs from Sharanagati, etc. But if they were all like included in one book, probably it would look like that, so big one.
Oh yes, well you'll get really a big book if you want to put Sharanagati, Gitavali, and all the various books, Kalyan Kalpataru, and then, well, how about the whole of Chaitanya Caritamrta? We can sing the whole Chaitanya Caritamrta. No, anyway, oh yes, this is the dried. Yeah, sorry, in the chat box, the picture there is a dried Haritati. Yeah, we have to accept we're going to get some of the songs. And in Navadip, the morning and evening program, it wasn't rigid, these 4 songs, that is it, or whatever songs are given as the guideline. But the essence, you can say, the framework, this is what is being given in the guidance to what's sung in the morning and the evening. And so there's a whole songbook. And different devotees will come, and in a proper way, everything was done in the time of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, that only the right songs are sung, and if not, they'll either themselves send somebody, or they will send somebody, or themselves come and set the devotees right in the Nat Mandir, so that they're only singing the proper songs. So it did vary. It was a mix and match, but it was a match. It wasn't just random. And yes, by the way, in our songbook, there are hidden kirtans that keep on coming up. And there are going to be more hidden kirtans. The good news is we've got the body of the next songbook pretty much together. It's going to have some tweaking, and then it's going to be laid out and available, and it'll be available. And this has additional kirtans, missing things, corrected things, standardized transliteration. And that body text is finished. We did this in London recently, and I just came back from London, and we're ready with the printer. Also, we've got all these things lined up. So more hidden treasures from the songbook coming.
That's really good news. And it looks like the London branch started to flourish. I don't know whether it's connected with Abhinava Sundar and Kelly Kadambanana being there, but all those courses spring out, and all this editing and publishing, like very active work
and
is going on.
Public programs too. We did a public program in a church, an actual church. I was very surprised. I thought it was going to be the church hall, but it was the church itself. So anyway, yes, and Pandita moved into the temple. She gave up her flat and she moved into the temple, and very active. And it's a hard work to maintain a place like that, but over and above the maintenance, the very important part as well, the preaching side is going on, and they're trying to find these ways to reach to the public and to nourish the existing devotees. This is always a priority. So yes, very positive, happy. May every ashram be of such nature. It's what Gurudev wanted. Gurudev wants the substance of Chaitanya Saraswat Math to be within the temples, and he expressed so many times. So we all must try wherever we are. What Gurudev and Guru Maharaj they gave such wonderful things, and what Vrindavan Das Thakur was given, Krishna Das Thakur was given, which we've got through Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. All these wonderful things. And we must follow that wonder, but share the wonder with others. We are grateful to those who've allowed us to come within such understanding. So Surely there are others out there who would like to be happy and would like to live forever. No, it's not reasonable. They want unhappiness and misery, suffering and dying. All right. Amazing the choice that Maya gives us, and amazing the choice that we take. Yes, okay. Appreciate the encouragement of you all to each other. It is always a mutual, encouraging association to be with the devotees. And now I have to go to be with other devotees, because I mean other devotees, more the devotee family, because we have some duty just now. So dear devotees, Facebook, my obeisances to each of you. On Zoom, my obeisances to each of you. In the recorded version, my obeisances to each of you. And I would like to make a big poster of so many things we read, but today from Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya-Bhagavat, I mean, to me, that's an amazing excerpt of Mahaprabhu asserting about the necessity for us to take care of all of the, or everyone in all of the universes are my servant. So do not blaspheme anyone. This is what Vrindavan Das Thakur recorded Mahaprabhu saying in that conversation with Advaita Acharya. So many things. Let us all try our best. Continue and pray for forgiveness for any transgression we may make, as Srila Gurudev most perfectly gave an example just a few minutes ago. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Rupa Nuga Guru ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas ki Jai, all assembled devotees ki Jai, and festival in remembrance of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, his disappearance day today ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Gaura. Okay, I have to go. I'll leave you with the Haritaki and I'll try to find Chaitanya-Bhagavat.
Jai Srila Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
So loudly, Lamoying Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I mean, Ashti.
Hari Bol.